Greetings, comrades! This is Sergei Kilemov, and welcome to part 2 of my Battlefield 1 weapon special. Today, we're looking at the submachine guns and the shotguns. Now, I did a little research on IMFDB, and there aren't too many submachine guns and shotguns in Battlefield 1, but from when I looked through, there are only 2 SMGs and 3 shotguns that were in both Battlefield 1 and H3VR. Well, technically only 1 SMG, but we'll get to that one in a minute. But, yeah, we only have 5 guns to cover here, so this is going to be a rather shorter video than the previous one, where there was like a ton of pistols and revolvers. But this one here is the MP18. This is a submachine gun used by the Germans. Of course, been in service for a while, till the late 20s, and it eventually got replaced with the MP40 during World War II. You see, you got the traditional snail magazine here. Let's put it here. Now, in the Battlefield 1 game, you can mount a bayonet on it, you can put the special sights on it, and stuff like that. Now, what's interesting about this gun, chambered in 9x19mm, and of course, the way it's designed, you can hold it down here, but, you know, in normal scenarios, you would actually hold this and use this as a handle, but in this game, grabbing that will take the magazine out. So instead, we're going to just hold it like this. It's chambered. Probably a battery issue with the controller. Give me 1 second. These are brand new batteries too. I need to get new headsets sometime. Actually, it doesn't have a safety. I just found out. You lock it down like that. So yeah, no safety here. So that was most definitely my bad. So we got a 32 round capacity. Very interesting snail drum. You might have noticed it's similar in design to the Luger. The Luger's snail magazine, only this one is kind of perpendicular to the magazine, whereas the Luger, it kind of sticks out that way. Respectable fire rate. And you can see why the Germans love this, and honestly, I think the MP40 improved it in many ways. Granted, it was more mass-produced than this weapon here. But let's get to the more classic one. Now, this one is interesting, because we all know this is the Thompson. More specifically, there are 2 different versions of the Thompson in this game. We're going with, well, the M1928 Thompson here, because, well, it's the earliest Thompson in this game. But funny thing, the Thompson was never actually used in World War I. In the game, it's actually a prototype version that has a different barrel and heat shroud, and didn't have a stock. And yeah, we didn't really see the Tommy gun until at least World War II. And plus, you know, World War I ended in 1918. This didn't get into mass production until like the mid or late 20s. Yeah, if we're all familiar with this weapon by now, also known as the Chicago typewriter, chambered in 45 ACP, and we've got 2 different magazines. We've got a 50 round magazine here, which you've probably seen a lot, but of course, the real fun comes with those 100 round drums. Charging handle up here. Now, what I like about this one over the M1A1 Thompson is not only you got the stock here, it's about the same, but you also have a foregrip, because you know the Thompson has a pretty good fire rate, provided you're not firing it single. So you see at that foregrip, you're literally just pointing and shooting. Very little recoil. Now, let's have fun with a 100-round drum. Now this looks like a proper Tommy gun, worthy of Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly. I love the Tommy gun. In games these days, you don't see it with this kind of magazine. You see the 30-round box magazines, or even just a small drum. But it's not very often you see one with a 100-round drum. That's a little more fun to use, in my opinion. And that's it for the SMGs. I wish there were more, but maybe in the future. But for now, let's get to the shotguns. This one here is pretty interesting. This is a Sjorgen, a Nurse shotgun. Now, how you load this is pretty interesting. Let's get our shells here. I haven't fired this gun much myself, but so I forgot the ammo capacity. So we got 5 rounds, and you notice no pump action. Instead, you pull this. Before you ask, no, it's not fully automatic. And you see, it locks back. Hold in a few more rounds. Pull it back, and it's good to go again. You could fire one-handed. Of course, helps you pull it back a little more. But why do that? You can get the shorty. Now, obviously, this wasn't the one used in World War I, but, you know. Nothing wrong with sawed-off shotguns, especially one like the Sjorgen. Now, if you really want to be Terminator in World War I, you get a sawed-off Sjorgen. Neat little gun, but let's see one we're a little more familiar with. This is the M1987 trench gun. Of course, anyone who's played Call of Duty World at War, or of course Battlefield 1 or 5, you know, you might be familiar with this gun by now, used by the Americans. Yeah, no more rounds in there. And you pump it. Now I can pump it. So you have to engage the trigger before you can pump it again. And of course, all these shotguns here are 12 gauge. Now I do my best to keep the screen kind of centered when I'm firing these guns, because when I see the videos I made before, you know, the gun's usually in the upper corner of the screen and looks kind of jarring and stuff. So I do my best to fix that. It's kind of weird to, you know, record footage to here and, you know, check it to this computer screen. But yeah, as you can see, this M1987 trench gun, pump action, very nice. But now let's get to the fun one. Last gun for this video. This is the Browning Auto 5, but the version of Battlefield 1 is actually the Remington Model 11, but they're essentially the same gun. This is the first semi-automatic shotgun. Four-round capacity. And you see what made this gun so innovative. You know, shotguns in the past, they were, you know, break action, where you load in the 2 shells, cock it in, fire, do it again. And then, of course, we got the trench gun here, which is pump action, but here, semi-automatic. All you do, you know, instead of pumping it after each shot, you just load your shells in, pull the charging handle, and you're good to go. And that's it for this video. Not very descriptive or, you know, feature packed as the previous video, but again, not too many submachine guns or shotguns in Battlefield 1, and even fewer of those in this game here. So the next video will be rifles. Bolt actions, semi-automatics, anything that's in both of these games will be in the next video. So until then, hope you enjoyed this video, and look forward to the next one. Das Vidanya.